Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. So there's been a lot of biological men lately participating in women's sports. Particularly the big case was with Leah Thomas, the college swimmer who broke every record, and everybody knows that story, right? And then we also have the UFC recently partnering with Bud Light. We'll see how that goes. With that in mind, I got this article here from the New York Post. I've been monitoring this story for a couple days, and I'm glad I didn't jump on it right away because the martial arts competition changes rules after female fighters pull out over safety fears after facing trans grapplers. Now, what's been going on is there's this martial arts competition, and it's a jiu-jitsu competition, I believe, and women pulled out when they realized that the rules committee or whoever it was were going to allow biological men to fight them. Well, I'm not for that. You know what I mean? I'm glad they did make this stand. And so we have a response. And so let's just get into the article here. Terrified female martial artists say they've pulled out of recent competitions to avoid facing much stronger transgender fighters, forcing a major organization to revise its rules to ensure trans females can now only face men. Good job. The North American Grappling Association said it overhauled its rules after complaints about transgender female athletes fighting in recent events. In one of the jiu-jitsu events in Georgia earlier this month, transgender grappler took home 4 gold medals in women's competitions, while another placed second. The feminist outlet Redux said, NAGA suggested that transgender grapplers were likely competing by simply ticking female in the registration forms and then going unnoticed. However, a number of women have come forward to complain about safety fears after uneven matchups, not all at NAGA events, and left some so scared they pulled out of major tournaments to avoid similar encounters. Jaden Alexander said she was left in tears after fighting a transgender woman at an unspecified event in July, and was so devastated and afraid she pulled out of future competitions, including a NAGA one. The simple fact of the matter is that men signing up in a combat sport to fight women is absolutely unacceptable, she said. And I 100% agree. And sports fans that like fair competition around the world also agree. The experience was horrible and scary. I was absolutely in fight or flight mode, she said in an Instagram post video. In these tournaments, these fights, they're supposed to be fun. Not only are they supposed to be competitive and all this other stuff, they're supposed to be fun. This woman was, fight or flight mode. Not fair to do to this person. I don't care about your inclusion. It's not fair to do to this person who's fighting in the event that's designed for her. Last month, Taylor Moore, a 135-pound woman, posted a video of her fighting a 200-pound transgender athlete, which she captioned, "My biggest opponent yet." So that's the other thing here. People like the UFC because there's weight classes. First of all, nobody wants to see a 135-pound woman fight or matched up against a 200-pound woman, but let alone if one of them is biological male. As a fan of the sport, that's not interesting to me. When I was in high school, I wrestled at 135 pounds one year, and I would not like to have gone into a tournament against a bunch of 200-pound dudes that age. Anyways, let's just continue. Although Moore won the fight, her coach Jimmy Witt complained that she could have severely been injured. That's no excuse, though, for that person to be matched up against her. That might just mean that she's faster or more experienced, but that doesn't mean she couldn't have been hurt. And in light of fair competition, she was obviously fighting a very inexperienced person. So just the whole thing is out of whack. You can play the video there, but I'm not going to. Another fighter said she was not told she'd be fighting a transgender woman at a July 8th competition and was left in panic mode. They felt so strong, I was like, oh my, OMG. I thought I couldn't take them down. She said of the match that she eventually won. This was always about other girls traumatized by this event and the future of female grappling. I can't believe people think this is okay. Just because I won doesn't mean that it's okay, and the future looks grim for this, because it's just going to eventually be a bunch of biological men that take over the sport, and then they'll have to actually recreate the women's league again. It's like Tom McDonald said, fight will equal rights and then we'll fight for them again. Marcy Smith, a co-founder of the Independent Council on Women's Sports, said she had spoken to 4 women who have all fought male fighters in the combat sport of jiu-jitsu. They are extremely upset. They are emailing Federation leadership and being dismissed, Smith told Redux. NAGA stressed that not all women speaking out had their bad experience at their events. So there are other events, but it doesn't matter because NAGA is participating in it. It's also said that it's rules for biological females to always be given the choice to fight transgender athletes when they were aware of their involvement. But like I said earlier in the article, transgenders are ticking the female box on their application and going unnoticed. So they're not being forthcoming with it. And that's against the rules too. You know what I mean? So, however, NAGA President Kip Collar conceded on Instagram that registration for events only asks competitors if they're male or female, without the option to declare yourself as transgender. Well, they need to fix that right away. We are adding additional text to the event and rules page to help inform transgender athletes which division they need to enter, Collar said, noting that it is even more important given the heightened potential for injury in grappling. From now on, male to female transgender athletes who have gone through male puberty are excluded from competing in the female division at NAGA events. Transgender females will compete in the men's division. We hope that the simplicity of this revised policy will help to avoid any future occurrences where transgender females enter women's divisions, this policy says. Adding, if NAGA staff is informed that a transgender female is in the women's division, they'll be given the choice to go to the men's division or be given a refund. Not any type of punishment for registering illegally, like can't participate in the next event, but whatever, right? Whatever. I mean, just got to catch the liars when they lie every time, I guess, but they're lying on the application. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Another win for the right side of culture. And if you agree with that, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.